So I've been getting some questions via email that I have clearly covered in the videos, and I'm going to blame it on the fact that these videos have been getting up to like 20 minutes, and they should be around 5. So this one is going to be a 5-minute video, I guarantee it. Hello, it is week 4. I am Brian Baker, your instructor, and let's get right into questions. Alright, so like I said in the intro, I've gotten a number of questions that have already been covered in videos, so I'm not going to talk about those because obviously those people probably aren't going to watch this anyway. But there was a thread that came up, some similar questions from several different people that made me think maybe there was something I didn't cover in the videos, or at the very least didn't cover well. If you are concerned that your Canvas gradebook does not show your lab grades from my IT lab, that's because I have to manually move them over. I generally move the grades over once they are no longer available to students, which is after your 1-week grace period. So you should start noticing grades moving over. If you don't notice grades moving over, that's because I'm also department chair and I do a lot of stuff other than teaching. Excuses, excuses. You'll see your grade book in Canvas looking better soon. All right, the next set of questions that I've gotten that have been somewhat of a trend. I've gotten 3 separate requests of people saying, hey, what are you on Twitter or whatever? Perfectly fine if you want to. You're just going to see pictures of my kid and whatever. I don't post anything super important. Yeah, Instagram, I'm Professor Baker. Facebook, I'm Brian O'Neill Baker. Instagram is probably the thing I use the most. So yeah, if you want to follow me, feel free. But yeah, certainly not necessary. All right, now for what we're doing this week, we're going to be covering 2 chapters, Chapter 5 and 6. Chapter 5 is all about system software that keeps your system up and running and doing the things you need it to do. Chapter 6 is going to be all about hardware, specifications, choosing a computer. There are mini lectures available in the week 4 module on those topics. There's also quizzes on both chapters 5 and 6. All right, now for your discussion this week, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Thematically, it doesn't quite match the chapters, and that's just because with only 9 weeks, I'm trying to eliminate discussions students have said in the past were less helpful. I want you to look at a new resource, Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha is kind of like Google, but it varies. Google, what they do is they use this program called a spider. It goes out, it searches the web, collects information on a lot of different websites. You type in some words, and they essentially say, well, I'm going to find websites that contain similar words and show you these websites. Now, so if you have a question, you type it in, maybe you find a website that has the answer you want. Wolfram Alpha goes out and gets a bunch of information, collects it all into a database, you ask a question, and it just gives you the answer. They call it a computational knowledge engine. By the way, Google does this a little bit now too. If you say, who won Best Actress in 1980? It's not going to give you a bunch of websites with the answer. It's just going to tell you the answer is Sally Field for Norma Ray. You could type in a drug. It will tell you information about that drug as well as drug interactions. Maybe helpful for nursing students. Don't know. Not a nurse. Type in something related to physics. It will give you some information about that. Just type in a math formula and it will graph it for you. For a lot of people, the value of Wolfram Alpha from this class has just been that it is a free graphing calculator you can use at home. As a tool, it is really, really useful. So check out Wolfram Alpha, check out the prompt, and have fun searching for weird stuff. Lastly, there are labs in my IT lab on Microsoft Office. We are starting a new unit. We finished Word last week. This week, we're going to be looking into Microsoft Excel. As opposed to going into details here, I've actually created a separate video, an introduction to Excel, where I talk about why it exists, how it's used, and then I cover a lot of the problems that students have had with the labs right there in that video. Really at its base, Excel is just a way of organizing data, numbers, so that the value you see in a cell isn't just the number itself, but it's actually a formula, something you can type in that will set the value of that cell based on other numbers before. And again, there's a little video clip I put into the Excel introduction that explains why that is, how it's used in business. Honestly, Excel is probably one of the most important business tools you will get out of this class. I know people who have gotten promotions at their job just because of an Excel spreadsheet they created that made them look like amazing managers. And that is it. Hopefully I stuck to my word. This video is under 5 minutes. And yeah, have a great week and I will see you online.